The question from people is, I don't know. Someone thinks it's half in jest, about, meat eating and raising your consciousness. Um, I don't have any information for you other than, do you want to raise your consciousness or not? I don't know. You're giving me the Tibetans are carnivores and they drink yak butter. I don't know. I don't know who you're talking about. The Tibetans. That's stupid groupthink. Anyways, and I don't know, ignoramus. If you don't know the skill of human consciousness, then where am I supposed to begin? Why don't you just call me a serious spiritual student and wisdom teacher, light worker, someone who is recognized by organized darkness as being a being of light. Are you recognized by organized darkness? You. In other words, do you have massive demonic attack on you? Yes or no? I do. You can look on Jesus Burroughs, go back a month, go back a year. Every day I'm attacked horribly. It's electronic harassment by demonic people. But I am targeted, which means I am recognized by beings of light as being a dangerous person to their operations. That's why I'm attacked. I'm the real McCoy. You think about it. Anyways, as an advanced spiritual student, I'm just going to remind you all the stupid things that you always say. Because I have to go and make you another stupid answer for, why? And the answer is the spiritual teacher, me, is telling you, do it. Your dumb rational mind has already gone through a Buddhist reincarnation. In your next lifetimes, I don't know how many hamburgers are you going to have in a lifetime, and how much meat divided by how many cows to make that much meat. And that's how many cow lifetimes you are going to have to live karmically just to put yourself into balance. However, given that you're a sentient animal, a sentient carnivore, and you know this, there will be additional penalties levied against you because of your lack of compassion for other sentient animals. Everybody knows that people have little Vietnamese pot-bellied pigs, little mini pigs, as pets, and they're just as smart as little dogs, and everyone knows the extent that people will go to at the veterinarian to keep their dog going, who's a member of the family. So if you can love your dog, you can love a pig. And all kinds of people hear about in the Far East how they, eat dogs and how horrible that is. I don't know, either you feel that way about your pet animals or you don't. One way or another, it's the same issue. The animals do know. My father, when he was 20 years old, worked in a slaughterhouse. And I asked him, did the animals know that they were going to be slaughtered? And he said, yes. That's enough for me. Which means that however many future lives as a cow you're going to have, you're going to know at the slaughterhouse that you're about to be murdered. Do you know how terrified you're going to be, you, with your human knowing in the cow body, that you are about to be slaughtered? Does that sound like unbelievable terror? Off the chart terror? Knowing you're going to be murdered for sure? For sure, you're going to be murdered. For sure, there's no chance that anybody is going to give you a last-minute reprieve. You are going to die. You. Without being able to talk, but you, resident in the mind of that cow. Because it's not turned on in the cow brain for you to talk and say, my God, don't kill me. You trapped inside a cow. You don't think it's possible in the spiritual literature? Which one? There was one of the Hindu gods. And got sick of everybody and went and became a pig and loved to wallow in, mud. for a long time, and the gods didn't know where this one went, and where is it, and finally they figured it out, and it was a pig. And it was like, well, that's, I can't remember who it was. You can look it up. And then you can look up to see what the gods did with that god who decided that they were going to live as a pig for a long time because they were sick of the other gods, I guess. Why else, anyways? You can look these things up. And then if you're going to give me the Tibetan Book of the Dead, have you read that? Because it does say after you should read that one. If you're going to keep eating meat, you'll need to understand fully that book and memorize it. Because there are choices after you die in the Tibetan Book of the Dead, and you got to know which of the choices to take. Because some of the choices you end up as a duck. And the description of what you experience is that the duck's life is actually kind of nice. It's a warm feeling. It's a warm feeling of a warm cave-like nesting area that to a duck is like, that's an awesome nest for me as a duck, and that's where I'm going to get laid. As an egg or what, I don't know. And then next thing you know, you are a baby duck because it felt like a nice thing for the parts of you that used to be ducks in past lives. I mean, you really got to train yourself well. What about people that raise their consciousness to high levels of consciousness? Well, at higher levels of consciousness, you're like Jesus. And you don't expire. I think he changed his frequency when they said he ascended. He spent after the resurrection, he spent some time with his friends. And then he said, well, it's Ascension Day. You can go look it up on the calendar which day after Easter is Ascension Day. And that's when he changed frequencies and he disappeared from view of his friends. This is exactly the same thing that's illustrated for us in the Celestine Prophecy movie. So for $10, stream it. Okay, I gotta let you know that the devils are right around here, and they want to let you know that they're around here because they just do, because for the purposes of letting you know that I am still demonically attacked, because part of their job is to remind all of you that, that they are here, and I don't know, you're not going to be able to understand the devils. Because devils are low on the scale of consciousness, and they're irrational and illogical. I don't know, they really are. Because a lot of times when they're deviling me with electronic harassment, the people that are running this operation, the terrorists, they've been doing it for 6 years, every day, all day long. So it's kind of a performance. They think of it a bit of a TV show. What they do all day long is like, there's a number of humans using their systems, and they've got their characters that they play every day for years and years and years, and they experience life through me and my body quite a bit. How much time do they spend in their own bodies? I don't think they spend time in their bodies. Or we think that they got like something like a Neuralink. The Neuralink, the Elon Musk thing, an implant. We think they got an implant because they're permanently in their virtual reality. So as far as their physical bodies go, I think they're just sitting there rotting. They haven't been exercised in 6 years. I don't know. I think one of the operators is about 62 years old. If you're 62 years old and you haven't even got up for a cup of coffee or a smoke because you've been, permanently, I don't know. Are they like in pods, like in the Matrix, where they're plugged in? Well, it could be, but those plug-ins, that's visual effects. You don't need those things. You don't need, it's all wireless connection to your body. Everything in your body is connected up. Mind to I got mind to technology. Your mind connected to technology that's connected to other humans' minds. But we saw this in the movie Firefox. Clint Eastwood, about 1990, when he flew a Russian jet fighter plane with just his mind. Without a steering wheel or anything. So, I mean, the technology was being disclosed to us back in 1990, and that was how many years ago now? That's a lot more time for a lot more. Anyways, by the time they disclosed to us that they had that, they already had this remote neural monitoring. And I'm just going to tell all of you people, if you've ever had that earbug where there's a radio quality song playing in your head, uninvited, then that's synthetic telepathy, and you are under mind control like everybody else. It's just they haven't announced it to you formally. But if you get that, or if it just gets itchy on the end of your nose, and there's no insects around, or there's no reason for it, but it's just itchy, that is microwave attack, and you've seen that. That was disclosed to us at the Cuban embassy, American embassy in Cuba, in Havana, Cuba. Workers were attacked by microwaves, and that's some of the stuff that happens with microwaves. You can make it burn, or they can make it feel like a feather. Itchy on your nose, though. You'll notice so many people that are doing itchy nose. It's electronic. Everybody on the planet is tracked. I've seen things. I've seen websites where they just give a number, and the temperature of the person and heart rate and all that stuff. A bunch of people just by number, and they're monitored by the computers, real time. All of you, all of us. You don't need to have the jab to get it. It's not. They don't need it. It's like I think it's going to be like your MRI scan. And they can monitor your brain waves and everything. And they can interpret your brain waves. And then they can impose thoughts into your head. This is called mind control. That is called synthetic, telekinesis of my body. I don't know. Because it's basically, because they're getting really mean. Because now that, I don't know, whatever reason, more conscious people know about it, and I don't know. Project Looking Glass, Project Looking Glass. You can look that one up. It's technology to peer into the future that the government was reputed to have for a long time. Well, the story is that they could only look so far down the line, and originally they told us like 2012. And then it was a discontinuity, and this is this great leap in consciousness from the old, what we call the 3D world to the fifth dimension, which was the song 1969, Age of Aquarius by the Fifth Dimension Band. 50 years ago, we're well into the Age of Aquarius, and all this, what's called control structures, is coming up for us to see, because we have to get rid of it. Clearly, we can't be controlled by evil computers and evil people. That's not, an advance in civilization, so we got to get rid of all this shit. And the people who are running this shit are still shit. Because they can see the writings on the wall, but they continue to hassle me because they love to play their, their TV show lifestyle where, it's going to be, let's be fat controllers on Bob Burrows and, see if we can kill him or do whatever else and be exceptionally cruel to him. The people who do this are real terrorists. Real terrorists. Osama bin Laden and Hannibal Lecter all rolled into one. So, yeah, it's not a game, it's not funny. And I was given, the universe told us today that what we call the Pleiadians are monitoring this, and the Pleiadians might not be Pleiadians, they might be somebody else, some other group of people, they're not naming themselves, but they'll call themselves Pleiadians for now, because some people have called it, and they do monitor what's going on here, and they want to tell all of you people out there that everybody is being monitored by multiple groups of beings, and that no one knows how many people here are, good people or bad people, because a lot of people do evil shit that you don't know about. But you know who these people are. You just don't have conscious awareness of, what they're up to all the time. And as the earth goes into higher and higher consciousness, as more and more people let go of their ego, all of the people who are evil also come to be known in consciousness because they don't resonate with all the rest of us who are benevolent, peace-loving, loving people who love to have fun and love to party. The people we're talking about don't. They're Hannibal Lecter. They prefer to be by themselves, doing evil. That's what they prefer to do. Rumpelstiltskin from Once Upon a Time was one of the characters that they adopted to torture me. An evil character, and that's what the people that are like it. They play it, and they're that way 100 to 110% through and through. When they're not playing these characters, that's the same person who they are, and they're evil, and they're walking around. Anyways, a long time ago we were told that there's lots of people here on planet Earth who have been given lots of rope to hang themselves. I'm sure you've all heard that expression. So, and that's what we're, that's what we're waiting for, is, the grand finale. When Donald Trump was around, at one point it was 42,000 sealed indictments, and then it was 92,000 sealed indictments. I don't know how many sealed indictments there are worldwide now. As time marches on and more people realize that, it doesn't seem like the government gives a rat's ass about enforcing any laws whatsoever. Letting people out early, prominent people being let out of jail early, constant stream. Anyways, you all heard about Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein and all that stuff. So, the people at the top of the heap are, running around, and they're free to go and do the worst criminal crime possible. And they're still free. So, other people look and say, well, if they can get away with murder at Epstein's Island, then, what can I get away with? And corruption and rot is, well, everyone is checked out. You've got your free will and what appears to be a lawless planet. So people have got lots of time, and as I said, lots of time and lots of looking around to see, is anybody looking at me? And that person sees me, and what do? They don't care. Well, they don't care, and they don't care. And nobody else seems to be monitoring me. Then, people just... Eventually, people who are dirty will be dirty. And, that's the way it is. So, whenever this particular juncture is, it's the big split, because I saw that, I was given that today, the big split. And what's the big split? It's the wheat being separated from the chaff in the Bible. The big split. Some people think it might be, some people going to 5D Earth and some people staying on a 3D old school kind of Earth. But that negates the whole idea of, Dolores Cannon telling us there were 3 waves of starseeds who came and incarcerated themselves in human bodies in order to wake up, realize they're starseeds, and that this is all about our mission to planet Earth, to raise consciousness and make this a home for angelic people. That's what it's all about. Getting rid of all the horrible. Getting rid of all the stupid jobs that are boring and stupid. We have the technology that, makes all this stuff. Why do we have to work at stupid jobs in order to pay for, trucks and things that we need? It's just because it's evil people that are just like, they got so much money now, they don't need any more money, but they still want to go and just turn the screw on those of us that have nothing. It's cruel and it's evil. It's evil, and people choose evil. So, those people that choose evil have plenty of time to go and demonstrate them choosing evil. And the great split. What happens? So, if you're evildoer, you got bad karma. And the old school, it would be you would reincarnate. Probably as an animal, because you got so low in the scale of human consciousness. But maybe, I don't know, at some point maybe you get another lifetime. And if you're a shitty person, you'll be born into a shitty family. Or you're just destroyed. Everything you just destroyed. That's what it says in the Bible. You'll be destroyed if you're evil. And then Book of Revelation says the lake of fire, a second death. Stuart Wilde on stuartwilde.com in his books talked about a place called the Wall, where people are just glued to a wall. They're spirits. What you are, your energy body, is attached to a wall, and there you stay forever. You just degrade into goo. Stuart Wilde. Anyways, so why do you want to do that? Does that sound fun? To me, it doesn't. But the people who bedevil me for years and years and years hear the same story all the time, and they won't change. It's irrational, completely irrational. People who are devils are irrational. I don't know, they got half-assed stories that they tell themselves, but in the end, what it is, in every moment, if there's an opportunity to torture me, it trumps every other consideration. Ergo, the people are very low in consciousness, about 150 on the scale of human consciousness. And they stay there, and they understand the scale of human consciousness. They understand all kinds of stuff. They have all the book learning. But something in them refuses. So whatever that is, that's the making of a terrorist who terrorizes me. So anyways, back to the idea about, how we started this, about, it's just, if you don't raise your consciousness, you're going to be ruled by people who are the people who are, I'm demonstrating right now, who are going to turn this shit on you. Period. Are you going to tell me they're only going to target some of us when we've heard so much about these, advanced networks? What is it? 5G networks? It's microwave. I'm sorry. They even hijacked my words. But, the status quo is you get electronically harassed. They don't need you. They don't need all you people. The Georgia Guidestone said they're going to go from 8 billion people and whack it down to 500 million people. So it's going to be you in the Purge or the Running Man kind of scenarios, because they're going to have fun with you. They're not just going to go and give you a cyanide pill. They are going to play one of those games you've seen in the movies, where they all have all the cards and you have nothing. It's Fox and the Hound, and it's you. You're the fox, you're the human, and they've got all the weaponry, all kinds of traps, they've got all things, and they're going to torment you forever. They are going to torment. It's not going to be business as usual. They've already called it the Great Reset. The Great Reset is where they take away everything you own. Forbes magazine. I'm serious. It's right there in Forbes magazine. Anyways, if you don't want to open your eyes and see that you cannot stay this way, you are going to be horribly, 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 horrible, beyond horrible future. You, a slave, tortured forever, tormented forever. And because they got this advanced technology, they call them the reptilians for whatever it is, that when you die in this body, they harvest your spirit, your energy body gets harvested, they capture it, and then they bottle you into another body, and then they stick you back in a body, and they torment you for another lifetime, forever. Because this is harvest time. Ascended Master Sananda 25 years ago through a trance channel told me. It's harvest time. Aaron Abkey on YouTube. All about Law of One and harvest time. It's right now. You don't want to fuck around. This is no fucking around time ever. This is the most serious thing, the most serious issue on your plate as a human being in this lifetime is what you're doing right now. And I'm serious. If you continue to eat meat, your vibration is low, and the reptilians are going to say, if you're willing to eat meat, then Marina Abramovich is going to have spirit cooking, and they're going to cook you, and you're going to be called long pork, and that's what Stephen King calls human meat in his books. And they use all of the literature. Stephen King they use in all the movies, because they run Monsters, Inc. through me. Horrible, horrible characters, evil characters that they send through. Imposed virtual reality is what it's called. Imposed VR. You don't have to have a jab. You don't have to have an implant. Their technology is probably off satellite. This is 42,000 satellites. Elon Musk private satellites. You know how many military satellites are up there? Private satellites? We have no idea, but they're up there. And there's no defense. Wherever I go, it doesn't fade in and out. It's full on wherever I go. So there's no escape. So don't fuck around eating meat and drinking booze. Seriously, it's the most horrific thing. I'm serious. Go back and look. Go back 6 months and see every one of my videos. I'm attacked. I'm attacked morning, noon, and night. I can't work anymore. I put on an SOS yesterday. Nobody wants to help me out. I just said, just take my video and just forward it to the local recruiting center of the Marines and say, my God, is there some way that you people in the military can go and see who is attacking this guy by electronic harassment and the other people that are, coming around and saying, is there nobody in the military that's going to help us? Because so far, it's been 6 fucking years with this shit. Anyways, that's what I'm telling you again. I am attacked. So I'm going to tell you, I am recognized by organized darkness as being a real, authentic light worker. Don't fuck around. Stop eating meat. Don't go down the path of becoming the running man forever. Don't do anything this stupid. It's not a joke. It's the most horrific thing to be tortured by remote control. It'd be unbelievably horrific if they go and they take you to Rome and they throw you in the Colosseum with real lions, hungry lions, and they go and reenact. Because that's what those motherfuckers plan. Every fucking horrific thing, and they're going to use you. And your kids. And your friends, and nobody gets a pass. Because either you're part of that Illuminati bloodline or you ain't.